All right, guys, heading to the range right now. I'm gonna do my little pre-video intro on the way to the range because there's a bunch of people there, and I'm not gonna be the weirdo that talks to the camera. So, anyways, got the Creed in the back here. We got testing out Hornady 105s, boat tail hollow points today. All right, running some H4350. And I think I'm topping out at 41.1 grains, starting at 39.5, 0.4 grain increments. Anyways, we'll shoot some groups with this, or we'll shoot today for velocity node testing. I don't know, we'll go heavier here. We'll see what happens with this rifle, see if it likes the heavier stuff. I don't know, so stay tuned. I'll get this thing all set up and get cracking. All right. All right, so while this thing's cooling down, I had some questions about my posture, okay, while I'm shooting. Like, why do I pick my head up off the gun? Why do I actually, run the bolt with my left hand and take my right hand off of the bolt handle? Basically, why do I reset every time I shoot? And honestly, I'll just go through why I kind of do that. Number one, I'm just Joe, average guy out here, having fun. Okay, I'm not competitive shooting. I'm not into that at all. In fact, just the opposite. This is all I do all this because I hunt, and I don't like to miss animals, right? And when you're hunting, it's a little bit different. Follow-up shots are one thing, but 99% of the time, you only get one chance. That's it. You miss, it's over. So cold bore, one shot, better get the yardage right, okay? And sometimes you got to do that in a hurry. But what I'm kind of doing is, number one, why do I catch my brass? I catch my brass. That's why I take my hands and work the action, right? I eject, and then I do this right with my left hand, run the bolt back, and catch the brass. And really the reason why I do that is, especially when I'm running the 204, I don't want my brass going on the concrete. I just don't. It tears it up. Especially the 204, the necks on those cases are like foil. I'm telling you, that thing, if that case falls down and bounces 4 times, then that neck is like friggin' square. It's bashed in. And I don't want to do that. Same thing with the 243, same thing with 308, all that other stuff that I'm shooting here. As far as my posture on the gun, okay, why do I pick my head up off the gun was the question. Well, because I don't just run this thing. I mean, I shoot them pretty quick. I think the last time I was at the range, I shot 15 shots, and I did it in like 12 minutes. But I'm waiting a little bit in between shots, and I don't stack the mag full of shells. I single feed, right, when I'm over here. And the other thing, again, back with hunting, right, it's good practice for me to get everything set, right? Get my cheek weld would be number one for me, right? Check parallax, make sure my eye relief is perfect, and then try to find the middle of the scope. And then it's just, solid against your shoulder, and then just a squeeze, right? And just hold, and squeeze. That's kind of my routine. I do that every time. Again, because in a hunting situation, I've got to be able to do that fast, right? And I've got to be able to hit what I'm aiming at. A couple coyotes I shot last winter were 250 plus on the trot. They never stop. So it's you got to kind of, that's just one thing. Wouldn't really say I practice it, but I don't stay on the gun because it's not a practical thing for me in a hunting situation, I guess. let me see, what else did I have that was interesting? Oh, the other thing, why do I pick my head up off the the stock instead of just running the bolt? Well, I have a big nose. Okay, I got a big nose, and when I actuate the bolt, right, this thing is touching the end of my nose right now. If I were to stay down like this, it's right on the end of my nose, and I don't like that. That's uncomfortable for me. So I don't stay on the gun. You know, and part of the problem is the Vortex scopes are notorious for having a short eye relief. Okay, my Diamondback, the Strike Eagle, whatever the other one is that I have, they're all really. I mean, when you turn the power all the way up, I mean, you're right on top of that scope, which brings you really close to the bolt, right? So that's kind of why I do that. If I was doing PRS or F class or some type of, like, you know, competitive thing, then I probably would practice that way. But I mean, I'm looking for a one-shot solution here, you know, one-shot game. So that's that. All right, let's get back to ripping these guys out. Ooh, ooh, almost got me. All right, guys, back from the range. Groups are looking pretty good with this 105 right out of the gate. This is just 20 thou off a jam. So let's just review these groups really quick here. As far as just the velocities, I haven't even measured the groups, right? So we've got a 3067, so 3067, 3072, 3098, 3107, and a 3135. All right, so these guys are 0.4 grain increments from 39.5 all the way up to 41.1. Okay, and really, to be honest with you, the only shot that I jerked was this guy right here, and I'm betting this guy would be down in here probably, but who knows. This one is a little bit of a flyer, but I don't think I yanked that one, so I don't know. But again, the groups really don't matter. The velocity is, well, the velocity knows what I'm after, and I've got a bit of a split here. There's only 5 feet per second difference between these two groups, and there's only 9 between these two groups, and then we have a big jump here. So somewhere in here, there's probably a pretty good node. What I need to do is test a little bit on the low side down here and see, you know, see where I would get if I went less than 39.5. But honestly, it's a bit of a relief, you know, to get some decent groups finally shooting out of this thing. And to be honest with you, I probably would have happened to pawn this eventually anyways, as I started off with 75 grain VMAXs, went up to 87s, went up to 95 VLDs. I would eventually got to the 105s. But I'm pretty, as you know, I'm pretty big into the comments on my channel. And I got some really good comments from a guy on there. I'm not going to mention anybody's names or anything because I don't know how comfortable people are with that. But if you look at some of the comments from the work I've been doing on the 6th Creed, I had one guy tell me, you need to go heavier. We started talking about free bore and all this other stuff. So, yeah, I went out and ran these 105s, and sure enough, he was right on the money. Okay, so this gun kind of snapped right into what I was hoping I would get out of it just by going heavier. So let me plot these guys out and put a chart up maybe. But other than that, I'm just going to head back to the range. I'll probably do some repeats, just a little bit of repeats on this thing, just to make sure that these numbers are real. And then we'll start going into some seating depth testing and see if we can get something good for this 105. All right, guys, that's all I got for this little video. I'm going to keep chugging along with this 6th Creed now that I'm having some fun with it. Hopefully this continues. All right, thanks for watching.